For Splodinator.com, I'm Noobs. Well, day 0 of E3 2014 carries on late into the night here at Splodinator headquarters. We just wrapped up with the big Sony Conference, and well, pretty much put me to sleep. So, here's the deal with this thing. Now, we knew we were going to have a new host with Jack Tretton moving on from Sony, and I'm not sure we had one major host. We had a whole bunch of guys come out on stage, all of whom love to talk. This was a full 2-hour conference. It was tough. It was a marathon. Frankly, it was a poorly paced show. They were all over the place between major releases, indie games, both good. But then, you know, lots of hardware talk, video service talk, back to games again. But let's get into the news here, starting with the non-surprises. They opened with Destiny, of course. This thing is looking very, very Halo-esque, just in terms of the art style. Order 1886, got another trailer there. FarCry 4 shown. Arkham Knight trailer. Mortal Kombat 10, long ago leaked that was going to be at E3. We finally saw that. And this, one of many games at Sony's show that was incredibly dark and gory and full of maimings. I mean, you know what? People were remarking that there was a lot of like beheading over on the Microsoft show, but Sony really took the ball and ran with the just the gross out factor here. But of course, it is Mortal Kombat. What do you expect? Fatalities, right? Last of Us Remastered, trailer for that, coming out July 29th, very soon, as expected. Bit of a surprise here, GTA 5 getting ported to PS4, and believe it or not, you can actually import your save data not only from PS3, but even Xbox 360. They named the competition in the show, apparently really working to try to convert 360 owners. You know, there's plenty of good news at the show. Little Big Planet 3 made its debut there. You now have your additional playable characters beyond just Sackboy plus customization. Each character has its own, you know, unique abilities. Very, very standard platformer kind of a thing, right? Where each character gets its own abilities. Started with Mario 2. Looks like it controls just as poorly as its predecessor, so if you're into that, that's your thing. Bloodborne from Software. Again, more grim and grisly stuff. Dead Island 2 had a fantastic trailer. Of course, you expect nothing less after that incredible trailer for the first game really put the franchise on the map. This one, in my opinion, really entertaining. And actually, as far as trailers go at the show, believe it or not, a game called Dead Island had one of the more fun, more colorful showings. Huge news, probably got the biggest cheer, is Grim Fandango getting a remaster for PS4. You know, there's a Tim Schafer shout out, very funny stuff, so that was awesome to see. Suda51, you know, my guy from No More Heroes, he's bringing a grimdark game himself. It's called Let It Die. Highlight of the show was really a game called No Man's Sky. It's apparently procedurally generated exploration game. There is some shooting, but it doesn't seem to be the focus. Very unique art style, very colorful, great looking thing. That was probably what got people most excited in terms of new games, truly new games. There's a lot of hardware talk, which definitely dragged down the show. White PS4 announced it's going to be bundled with Destiny, so that's cool enough. Project Morpheus got a shout out. There's going to be playable demos. There's talk of streaming on Twitch and Ustream. Like, oh, okay, I don't care. That was the point where I was really starting to fall apart. Vita, believe it or not, it took actually half the show for Vita to be mentioned, but it did get a fraction of love. There was a bunch of free-to-play games highlighted, many of them for Vita. And Vita TV, finally coming to North America, called PlayStation TV. It's going to be $99. PS Now, the beta is coming to PS4 on July 31st, coming to PS3 and Vita a little later. And it's even going to be available on a few Sony TVs, so that's very interesting. You just buy a DualShock, and you're playing streaming games right on your Sony TV. that could be a big deal for them. This Sony TV thing, this is the Sega Channel reborn with modern technology. This might be a real thing here. The the most amusing part of the show was one of these endless talker guys gave this big shout out to Vib Ribbon, a bit of a PS1 niche classic. Only came out in Japan and Europe, but I'm not sure that Sony actually remembers that fact because it got a lot of love. It was trending on Twitter afterward, which is great to see. I was really hoping for and now you can buy it as a PS1 classic on PS4, but no mention of those PS1, PS2 classics that you're buying on your PS3 today coming to PS4. Where's that stuff? And then they closed on Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. I was really hoping that their big game would be Last Guardian. No, it was Uncharted 4, and this time Nathan Drake looked eerily like Nathan Fillion. Like, it's spooky at this point. I don't know what is going on there. There's got to be some likeness rights issue. If you look at this conference from just the games, the announcements, number of exclusives, how cool these games look, you know, I think Sony matches up very favorably with Microsoft. It even comes out a little ahead. You know, of course Sony's got more internal devs. They're always going to beat Microsoft on that front. But frankly, in terms of the way the show was put together, it was seriously, it put me to sleep. There was even extended talk of like original TV programming for PS4. Like, oh, come on, Sony, what are you doing to me? This almost felt like Sony and Microsoft did a little swish of the scripts here, where it was Sony focusing on things that aren't games, and Microsoft managed to actually stay on point. So I have to say that personally, I enjoyed just from watching the show. MS wins on that front. I think Sony had a shot at winning the narrative, and they blew it here. I'm going to give them 2.5 out of 5. So far, pretty mediocre shows for both Sony and Microsoft, although good enough. They're good enough shows. Still, I think Nintendo has a real shot if they put on a good showing tomorrow. I think you could see Nintendo winning this E3 from a conference perspective. Conference in Nintendo's case. But we'll wait and see. Of course, I'll be covering all the latest Nintendo news tomorrow, bright and early, Tuesday morning. So stay tuned on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook. Follow us across the board. We're coming at you, E3 2014, Splodinator.com.